Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rose, aka Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. Hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. About to give you guys my post-fight reaction to William Zepeda versus Lamont Roach. But before we get into all of that, if y'all could please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. I mean, we do this on a daily basis, man. Took the time to go ahead and just watch this fight, man, because I did think that it was a pretty good style matchup between the two, and it is a very significant fight for the lightweight division. The vacant WBC title was on the line after Shakur Stevenson had been stripped, so they needed to see who the new champion will be in the division. Shout out to Lamont Roach for going ahead and taking a chance in those series of fights that he's been taking lately. Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz, and then to go ahead and fight William Zepeda, I tip my head out to Lamont Roach for taking them chances. And shout out to William Zepeda for coming off of a loss against Shakur Stevenson, taking a layoff and then jumping straight into a tough fight with Lamont Roach. He's not an easy opponent for anybody. And I told you guys from the very beginning, man, that this fight was specifically, in my mind, this fight will be dictated based upon how the way Lamont Roach approaches the fight. I told you guys again and again and again and again. When I told you, when the rumors first came out that William Zepeda and Lamont Roach were looking to fight each other, I said I had William Zepeda. And there was a lot of people who was going against my opinion, which is totally fine. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them channels that you have to have the same opinion as me, man. There's nothing wrong with that. This is just boxing talk at the end of the day. But I told you guys, William Zepeda's output will be too much for Lamont Roach, man. And at this point, man, I got Lamont Roach figured out, bro. I already know what type of fighter he is. You feel what I'm saying? I told you guys, I predicted a draw when he fought Isaac Cruz because I just knew that, he was going to fight, Isaac Cruz's style. He's going to try to push Isaac Cruz back, just try to prove that he's macho, blah, blah, blah. But with Isaac Cruz, he's not as big of a volume puncher as William Zepeda. So I actually gave him a better chance to beat Isaac Cruz. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up fighting to a draw. I still got that audio message where I told my homie, bro, this shit is going to be a draw. You know what I'm saying? So going into this fight with William Zepeda, I knew that this was a very, very tough matchup for Lamont Roach, just based off of the output, the pressure alone. Lamont Roach is not somebody who throws a lot of punches. We could go back to the Isaac Cruz fight where Isaac Cruz was punching in combinations, and it looked like Lamont Roach would just freeze up in there and absorb all these shots and not throw anything back and just let people pile up the points. He has some tendencies that I knew that going up against a pressure fighter who throws as many punches as William Zepeda, I knew that it would just be a terrible look for him, a terrible style matchup. And I shot Lamont Roach some bail. You feel what I'm saying? I was saying how, based off of his previous experiences with Gervonta and Isaac Cruz, he was going to throw away that little macho man act, and actually put his thinking cap on. And like Bill Haney said, do the Devin Haney. I was really anticipating Lamont Roach to bring out, all his tools, more specifically use some type of footwork, step around William Zepeda, showcase a good jab, sharp combinations. And let's not get it confused. Lamont Roach landed some good shots, some sharp combinations. Definitely looked like he hit Zepeda with some punches that caught his attention. However, the inconsistency from Lamont Roach was what really costed him in this fight. Him staying on the line against William Zepeda costed him this fight. Him being extremely flat-footed and staying in the pocket with William Zepeda cost him this fight. This was a terrible performance, in my opinion, from Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the game plan was. I heard Lamont Roach's post-fight interview. It sounded like there was some underestimating over on his side, which is completely ridiculous at a championship level. He said that, we thought William Zepeda was a one-trick pony and blah, blah, blah. But, he did some good things in there tonight. And he definitely did. You could tell William Zepeda took this loss on the chin against Shakur, and he went back into the lab and improved on some things. And I love the punch variation from William Zepeda. I like the variation in speed on his punches. The sneaky little body shots. I even seen William Zepeda creating angles off, off of the offense, man. It was It was great work from William Zepeda, and I actually seen him using his jab, ending combinations with the jab, starting with the jab, and Lamont Roach's lack of upper body movement, a lack of head movement. He was available for a lot of the straight shots that was there, man. William Zepeda looked like he had some decent hand speed as well. It was overall a great performance from William Zepeda, man. He definitely did his thing, and that was a hell of a way to come back off of a loss. And, he's the new WBC lightweight champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where to start with this shit, man, because to be honest with you, I'm just very disappointed in Lamont Roach's game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like if he attempted to do follow through with a great game plan and just came up short, I wouldn't be as critical. But bro, what were you thinking? Like what are you thinking? Seriously, like did you just think that you were gonna walk William Zepeda down? You was gonna sit in the pocket and just get the better of the exchanges? Like, did you really watch William Zepeda's fights? What made you feel like you sitting in the pocket with William Zepeda was ideal? You probably watched the Shakur Stevenson fight. You've seen him, sitting in the pocket with William Zepeda and getting the best of the exchanges and shit like that, and you thought you could do it. Guess what, Lamont? For one, you're not Shakur Stevenson. Not even close. Not even close. And I was telling, and a lot of people rate Lamont Roach highly based off his performance with Tank and all of that. But I've been telling y'all guys, bro, with the right style, Lamont Roach will be extremely vulnerable. I was just telling my homie Reed the other day. I was telling Reed earlier today, I'm like, bro, Lamont easy work for Shakur. He was like, oh, word. Like, I'm not saying, he wasn't like denying it, but he like, oh, word. I mean, but with Tank, bro, that's a different style. Styles make fights, man. I don't understand what the game plan was, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man, because you probably saw Shakur exchanging with Zepeda, and he was getting the better of the combination. But bro, you're not Shakur Stevenson, right? When you really watch Shakur Stevenson's fight with William Zepeda, that was a tough ass fight for Shakur. Not only that, Shakur had to pull some tricks out the bag. I seen Shakur do shit in that ring that I never seen him do in any of the fights that he's ever been in. I seen this nigga Shakur using the Philly shell. Philly shell. I saw that nigga Shakur mix up every part of all his defensive tools. He brought him out for William Zepeda. Every fucking defensive play that he had in the book, he had to bring it off of Zepeda. Why? Because this motherfucker don't stop punching. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, I seen Shakur using his legs to offset William Zepeda rhythm. I seen him using the Philly shell to roll those straight shots off and come back with counters. You know what I mean? Very intelligent. I seen him using his range. You know what I'm saying? Keep it Zepeda at the end of his punches, countering him on the way in. I seen Shakur use every fucking trick in the book defensively to throw off William Zepeda. That speaks volumes because a lot of the time Shakur don't even have to step off first, second gear to outclass a nigga. Like the Teofimo Lopez fight was significantly easier than William Zepeda. And that speaks volumes because Teofimo Lopez has been an elite level fighter for like 5-6 years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he had different forms of defense, Ralph, and he brought them all out. And I'm going to address the comments. I just want to get this off because if I don't, I'll get distracted. I will not get my main points off. So, terrible game plan from Lamont Roach, man. Like, and I've already been suspect of this dude's IQ, just based off of previous fights. Like, I was a little bit critical of his Gervonta Davis performance. Mind you, I do think he got robbed. I think he should have won the fight. However, there were some things he could have did to really solidify his chances of winning, prior to the hair grease situation. He was fighting to Gervonta Davis's level. He wasn't kicking it up a gear or two to try to, be a step ahead of Gervonta. He was just like following Gervonta lead. Eastside Cruz doing the same shit. Like, elite level boxing is understanding what your opponent does well and then doing what the fuck you need to do and your power to neutralize their best abilities. We seen Floyd Mayweather do it. We seen Andre Ward do it. We seen Terrence Crawford do it. If you need a reference, go watch Terrence Crawford versus Victor Postol. Terrence Crawford neutralized Victor Postol's main game, that in and out movement with the little herky jerky style. Man, Terrence Crawford took him for a walk, had him running into shots, had him playing the aggressor when he wasn't really, known for that type of shit, and then making him pay with the sharp counters, hurting him, dropping him. Andre Ward, if you want to go watch, one of the things that he had noticed was Sergey Kovalev's gas tank was absolutely terrible in the later rounds. So what I'm going to do in this rematch, I'm going to rip to his body. Rip to his body. This nigga Sergey Kovalev was already gasping for air in the fucking 4th round. See, this is what elite level fighters do. Shane Mosley hit Mayweather with a sharp right hand and buckled him. Boom. Floyd was like, all right, I can't keep getting hit with this shot. This fucking shot right here is, you know what I mean? That shit got some thump on it. Guess what? This boy Shane Mosley ain't hit Floyd with another right hand after that. You feel what I'm saying? That's what elite level fighters do. And to this day, I have not seen Lamont Roach be able to do these type of things at an elite level. Just my opinion. So I knew that this William Zepeda fight was going to be a difficult task for him because Lamont Roach has this tendency where he wants to show you that he's stronger than you. He wants to show you that he's bigger than you, that he's physically strong, that he could push you around, that he could push you back. And if you tough, that he just tougher. Like, this nigga just be thinking that he could just walk anybody down because you walk through Gervonta Davis's offense. Like, bro, that's not how this shit work. And yeah, everybody was talking about, oh, well, Lamont Roach can knock William Zepeda out. Based off what? Who has Lamont Roach knocked out? That was elite. This nigga ain't never been all right, he wobbled Gervonta. Gervonta Davis still made it to the cards. Isaac Cruz still made it to the cards. What the fuck make y'all think he just gonna spark William Zepeda because Tevin Farmer dropped him? It was a clean shot. He got up and he did what he had to do to walk out of the ring without being knocked out, stopped. He actually won. So I don't know why people put so much stock into Lamont Roach's power. This nigga's not Wilder. This nigga's not Gerald McClellan. This nigga ain't fucking Julian Jackson. Like, he ain't got the type of power that'll bail him out in a tough situation. Like, where did we even get these ideas from? And to my knowledge, Zepeda ain't never been stopped. The nigga only got one loss. He ain't never been stopped. He didn't look like Shakur was about to stop him. He got beat up. He ain't never looked like he was going to stop him. And Lamont Roach was landing some good shit. Boom, he'll land a good right hand. Boom, he'll land a good body shot. But guess what? William Zepeda ain't going. So you're not this one-punch knockout artist. And William Zepeda, that nigga get hit with some shit and come back with a 5-piece. He come back with a 5-piece, bro. Right down the fucking pipe. And he wasn't discouraged by Lamont Roach's power whatsoever. And I'm seeing William Zepeda throw 5, 6, 7-punch combinations and Lamont Roach just catching all of the shots. Some shots getting inside the guard, some of them coming around. He getting hit with a body shot and no response offensively whatsoever. One of the things that I was worried about in the lead up to this fight, because I would watch this dude shut up, let somebody get 4 or 5 punches off and then not respond offensively. Bro, that is low IQ shit. Thinking that you could approach every fighter the same is low IQ shit. Thinking that you just going to be able to push everybody back and that you stronger and they just going to respect your approach is tailor-made for William Zepeda, for a come-forward pressure fighter that throws a fucking million punches around. The dumbest shit you could do, the dumbest shit in the world. Dumbest shit in the world. Like, I don't know what else to call it. It's not intelligent whatsoever. And yeah, Shakur took those chances, but guess what? Shakur showed great fucking accuracy with his power, with his power shots. And then on top of that, this nigga defensively was sound throughout the fight. Even when he was on the ropes, he made William Zepeda miss a lot of shots. He'll roll the shots, he'll catch a shot, he'll pull from a shot. He made William Zepeda miss a lot. So that in itself was able to neutralize Zepeda offense. And then when Shakur was being offense, his accuracy was pinpoint. And Shakur was letting them bitches go too. He was matching his volume in certain instances. So there's a few different ways to approach William Zepeda. You either got to match his output, which most people not, because not everybody's pace, not a lot of pros' pace is built for that. You know what I mean? shit slow down in the pros. It's like William Zepeda took an intense amateur style and brought it into the pros. You feel me? So you either gotta match his output, you gotta box this nigga. What happened? So you gotta either give Zepeda a boxing lesson, box him, or do a combination of both. That's what Shakur did. I see them matching William Zepeda output. I see them boxing him. You gotta mix that shit up, bro. Or you just gotta knock him out. And I ain't see the nigga get knocked out yet. Not saying that he can't, but it might be a little difficult to do that. Unless you got the power to do so. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see how Lamont took that approach and thought he was going to be successful. Lamont, I ain't see Lamont not one time. Like, take the back foot, run him into shots, stay mobile. No, I seen Lamont Roach, trying to fight at mid-range, jabbing him, throwing little combinations. Like, the intensity wasn't there for me. The mobility wasn't there for me. And by the time we got to because I only gave Lamont like 3 rounds. I seen some people giving him 4. You know what I mean? I think that's a little, I ain't gonna lie. I think that shit was a little generous. But, I gave him 3 rounds. I had a 9-3. I thought 117, 111 was pretty fucking accurate. But, man, all in all, man, Lamont Roach got to really do like some, I'm not gonna blame his trainer or anything like that because I see Lamont got the skills. He could outbox somebody. I've seen him do it. The problem with Lamont is he doesn't know when to do it. He has the abilities. He doesn't know when to execute them. And that's an IQ issue to me. Not saying that he's dumb, but it's like he got the pieces. He just don't know when they're supposed to be used. It's like a nigga who got a full toolbox, like them big ass toolbox that you see at them auto repair shops. And bro, you got every tool imaginable. You got every tool imaginable to get any type of job done. But you don't know what this tool is used for. You don't know when to use that wrench. You don't know when to use that drill. You don't know you don't know when to use that, whatever tool it is. You don't know when to use see, I don't even know my tools, bro. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever fucking tool it is, bro. You got all these different tools. You don't know when to use them. Crazy, bro. And I didn't get to hear Lamont Roach corner instructions, so I'm gonna avoid criticizing his team. I heard his dad motivating him a little bit, like, yo, you got to pick it up, man. This is the last round. Like, basically letting his son know that he down. And plus, it was open scoring. Now, I've seen a lot of people heavily critical of the open scoring. But I remember clear as day when people were just blatantly getting robbed, fans, and I even seen fighters asking for transparency. You feel me? Oh man, we need more transparency with these judges. They just be robbing fighters, and so now they're doing open scoring, and now people complaining about that. So what the fuck do y'all want? What do y'all want? If y'all don't want to see fight, and I'm not saying that open scoring guarantees that a fighter doesn't get robbed, but it's like at the same time, at least we'll see the shit coming and we won't be surprised. You feel me? I don't mind open scoring. Y'all was bitching, oh man, these judges need to be held accountable, man. How they scoring these fights, man? You know what I mean? We need to know. Okay, let's give them open scoring. No, man, I don't like it. Takes away from the suspense of the fight. Okay, so if you're not okay with open scoring, then you just have to be okay with motherfuckers getting robbed. Like you can't have it both ways. So what the fuck you want? You want niggas to be transparent, but then not show their scorecards in the midst of the fight? I fuck with open scoring. The reason why I fuck with open scoring is because, for one, I ain't the type of nigga that really fuck with surprises. I don't like being surprised, especially when negative shit with bullshit. So if the fix is already set in, like if the fix is already in, let me know in advance so I could go ahead and go about my motherfucking day and not be like, damn, I thought this nigga wanted to host. No, let us know what y'all on from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, But you can also let a fighter know, yo, I'm down on these cards. And you could pull off a Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter moment. Oh, I'm down? How? I'm down. Oh, you know what? All right. And then they turn the fuck up and they go to extra gear that these fans want to see them go in order to solidify their victory. I don't see what's wrong with open scoring. I'm seeing all these niggas complain, oh, man, I don't really like this. Oh, bro. All right, so, you know what I mean? That you just going to have to be okay with these judges being sneaky and then giving you a bullshit scorecard that you don't like. How about that? It's either or. It's either you want transparency from these judges or you don't. But just understand that not getting transparency from these judges could, fuck with your emotions and, surprise you with some shit that you don't want to see. Just, I'm just saying. I feel like since the scoring is transparent with these judges, they're less likely to do some fuck shit. That's how I feel. It's like a fucking cop with a body cam. You know what I mean? The cop with a body cam, I'll probably do some, still will, violate a fucking citizen's rights or whatever the case is, but they'll think twice before they do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really be understanding that shit. But anyways, that's a different topic. I never really spoke on that, but I don't be understanding what these motherfuckers want, man. Y'all want transparency, but then y'all don't want open scoring. So what the fuck y'all want then? What the fuck y'all want? You're more likely to get fair judges if they are openly showing their cards in the midst of a fight. You know what I mean? The playback zone said open scoring can make a fight more entertaining or slow a fight down. Either way, it'll make fighters change things up and make adjustments more often. And that's what we should be able to see. And guess what? If a fighter can't make an adjustment, then that's their problem. For real, for real. What do I think is next for mine? I don't know, man. I would like to see Lamont still be in the lightweight division. You know what I'm saying? William Zepeda was a tough style matchup for him. I had William Zepeda winning from all the way back when they was just rumors. I always felt like William Zepeda had the style to beat Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? When you're looking at the other champions in the division, you're talking about Abdullah Mason. Says I don't see Roach will get lit up by Abdullah Mason. I don't want to see that. Raymond Mordetayo, who just defeated Robinson Conceição, that'd be a bit more competitive, but I do think that's competitive. I think Mordetayo and Roach is more competitive, but I think Mordetayo is a bit more active than Roach. He'll take more chances. He'll let his hands go more. He probably get the better of those exchanges. Hold on, y'all. Mordetayo said he moving up to 140. All right, so we could scrap that then. You know what I mean? If Lamont want to fight, I wouldn't be surprised if they let Lamont fight for a vacant IBF title or some bullshit like that. Would not be surprised. He probably not in the rankings, but who's the other champion? It's the WBA. Who got the WBA lightweight? I'm tweaking. Why can't I ever remember who has these fucking belts? Who has the WBA lightweight? That's gonna be Floyd Schofield. That's vacant right now. So it's vacant. So Floyd Schofield likely gonna fight for that shit. Lamont Roach and Floyd Schofield will be a good one. If Floyd Schofield to take that, they scary over there. Okay, body. And then the WBO is fucking Abdullah. WBA is Floyd Schofield and body winner. IBF is Mordetayo, but he about to move up. And WBC is William Zepeda now. All right. WBA strip tech. That's what I heard. Shout out Coffee Plant. Roach the new Cambosis. I ain't gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go that far because Cambosis just, I don't know what happened with Roach. With Cambosis, he just fell apart after that TO win. Devin Haney just outclassed him, and then they just matched him tough after that. I ain't gonna go that far because Lamont could rumble. You know what I'm saying? I just think that against certain styles, he's not gonna prevail against. That type of style that William Zepeda got. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. A lot of niggas stylistically will have trouble with William Zepeda. That's just a tough style to deal with. fucking William, and they like, oh, well, William Zepeda can't punch. Well, the nigga got a high knockout ratio. So first of all, them niggas is feeling something. And if you're throwing 100 punches around and a motherfucker can't keep up with that, they liable to drown, which is just as good as knocking a nigga out with one punch. A knockout is a knockout. So the answer, for people to criticize his punching power, who fucking cares? He's still getting stoppages. And he was beating Lamont Roach ass today. He was beating Lamont Roach ass, bro. And Lamont was feeling that shit too. He was feeling that shit too. So when you got somebody like William Zepeda who, brings the fight to you, lets his hands go, and got some durability, he just keep chopping away. He not discouraged. Yeah, I mean, he going to the head, he going to the body. Come on, man. That's a tough outing. So you gotta have to be somebody like William Zepeda, you gotta have good movement, which Shakur had, good counter punching, which Shakur had, and you gotta have some respectable power. Shakur got some respectable power. You could tell. Zepeda was getting a little cautious after a while and shit like that. You gotta have some good qualities to be somebody like William. This nigga Lamont refused to pick his feet up. Did I see Tank response? No, I didn't. He probably laughing at Roach. Wouldn't be surprised if he was. Oscar De La Hoya celebrating as he should. So where's the response at? Is it on Instagram? A good life needs some bad days. I don't know what that means, bro. A good life needs some bad days. Okay. I don't know what to do with that information. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that info. But let's see what the Twitter streets is talking about. You know what I mean? So Shakur Stevenson just came out with a tweet where he said, "Yo, champ, I see why you didn't want that belt at 135 at O'Shaquie Foster. It makes sense now." So what are you insinuating, that he's scared of William Zepeda? Is that what you're assuming? I'll tell you what, stylistically, unless Zepeda's just too big for O'Shaquie, O'Shaquie got the tools to outbox William. Now he stylistically, O'Shaquie got a better style to deal with Zepeda than Roach do. Corey do got respectable power. Wacko. They ain't pillows, bro. He ain't got that shit that'll put you out, but he got some shit that'll make you think twice. You could tell. You could tell. Why I could give you, if I was to look through that fight again, I could show you multiple times where Zepeda was second guessing. If a nigga second guessing, it's because they worried about what's coming back. Corey taking on the villain role. He been doing that. Zepeda will fuck Foster up. Foster got some mobility. He got the angles. He got hand speed. He got combinations. I don't think he could keep up with William Zepeda from an output standpoint, but he got the mobility to offset a lot of Zepeda's, rhythm, his offense. I'm telling you, he would have a better chance at beating Zepeda than Roach would. Roach like to stand there. Roach flat-footed, man. That's and then I'm seeing him in the 11th round and he want to start bouncing on his toes. Bro, why are you doing that now? Why are you doing that now? It took you 11 rounds to catch a rhythm with your feet. And then you ain't doing nothing off of it anyway. So what you doing it for? You bouncing on your toes. It's like, for what? Nigga, you spent. That nigga was tired. He was tired, bro. Roach has the abilities. He has the tools, but he doesn't know. He does not use them at the right time. Simple, bro. That's an IQ issue, man. That's not a skill set issue. It's an IQ issue. Because world class IQ, they have the toolbox, they have the abilities, and they know exactly when to use those abilities. Lamont seems like he struggles in that department. Like when the nigga's supposed to be counterpunching, he on the inside. When he's supposed to be moving, he flat footed. When he's supposed to be, walking somebody down, he do the wrong he do the wrong shit at the wrong time. Okay. Listen, Wacko, you ain't been punched by Shakur, so you can't even say that he don't have respectable power. I heard people that actually spar Shakur, and they all told me that he got like he ain't got like no crazy, like it ain't nothing crazy, but it ain't something that you just gonna voluntarily take. You feel me? Reed said, "Why you think Roach was successful?" Hold on, y'all. My fault, y'all. Why you think Roach was successful with Tank? It's because, first of all, Roach was successful with Tank is basically because Tank takes chances. You know what I'm saying? Like he takes chances. He loads up on big shots, and with Lamont Roach being such a good counter puncher, which he is, he's able to shoot them shots in between Tanks to make him pay for being overly aggressive on offense. That's for one. Two, Tank is a smaller guy, and he doesn't have like a significant reach, so Lamont Roach could pepper him from mid to long range as well. And there is moments where Gervonta Davis can, be slipping defensively, and Lamont Roach could take advantage of that. So stylistically, he was just all right for him. And then on top of that, Lamont Roach got tight. He got a tight defense, especially in the pocket. So when Tank is throwing them big shots, he's rolling those shots. He's catching those shots. I even seen him rolling underneath some of Tank's shots. So he's defensively responsible as well. And then when he does get hit, the motherfucker is durable. Like Lamont got a chin too, so he could take Tank shots. He could counter Tank, and it seemed like the counter punches from Roach was more effective. Like was affecting Tank more than Tank punches were affecting Roach throughout the fight. So his durability, his counter punching ability, and his defensive awareness, especially in the pocket, just gave him a lot of great moments against Tank. You feel me? Stylistically, he presents Tank some problems. But, and that's how you know this ain't no triangle theories in boxing. I never said that Roach was never good. I never said that. So I would never call Lamont Roach a bum. His styles make fights. There's some styles that Lamont will be extremely effective against, and there's ones not so much. He would be effective against somebody like Gervonta Davis. I'm not saying Knox. I'm not saying that you said that about me. I just want to make that clear. For anybody that's coming in here, I never said Lamont Roach was whack. But like I said, certain styles will pose problems to Lamont Roach. And he admitted to underestimating William Zepeda. Oh, we thought he was a one-trick pony. Why the fuck would you assume that? Especially coming off of a loss, you think he's not going to go back into the lab and get better? And to an extent, William Zepeda is a one-trick pony, but that one trick would give you a lot of fucking problems if you don't take the right approach with it. Deontay Wilder was a one-trick pony. You knew what take time he was on in his prime. But guess what? If you took the wrong approach, he was going to find a way to sneak that right hand and then put you on your ass. Anyways, and this is how you know triangle theories don't work in boxing, right? Because this is what I genuinely believe. It's not factual. This is just an opinion. Tank will have a tough time. Tank had a tough time with Roach, right? But Zepeda beats Roach, but something tells me Tank will beat Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks Roach beat Tank, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Roach could beat Tank. Zepeda beat Roach, but Tank will beat Zepeda, to me. I think he'll knock Zepeda out. Now, Tank got that type of shit that You know what I mean? And he got good counter punching too. That's why it was a great little counter punching contest back and forth between Tank and Roach. There was some great moments, especially when they was counter punching, in the pocket and shit like that. It was dope. But if Zepeda open up on a big puncher like a big sharp puncher like Tank like that, Tank could shoot some shit in between and rock Zepeda shit. You know what I mean? Brooklyn Goodfella, what's going on, brother? Shout out to Forever Runway Fashion Line with the $2 super chat. He said Tank Roach have history. That's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing. You know what I mean? They got an understanding of each other's styles as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's the danger of sparring somebody you may possibly have to fight. They get an understanding of who you are. They can go into the gym, be well prepared, and cook up a good game plan to possibly beat you. That's why the element of surprise, if you're able to have that, do it. You will catch a fighter off guard with a lot of shit. They don't know what you bringing to the table. That's why a lot of fighters don't, a lot of fighters are big on the element of surprise. That's why they don't post sparring sessions. You know what I mean? However they can, they won't post their fights online. None of that. Sean Terrence said, I could see Zepeda winning early than Tank knocking out Zepeda late. Yeah, I mean, I could see a knockout happening in the mid to late rounds with Zepeda. Zepeda get a little out of pocket. I could see Tank lifting him up with an uppercut or some crazy shit like that. Or a right hook. Could really see that. Tank Zepeda might be Tank versus Santa Cruz. And look, you read my mind because I just brought up that uppercut. The uppercut would definitely find Zepeda to me, or that right hook around Zepeda guard, probably a rock Zepeda shit. But regardless, I mean, that was my post-fight reaction to, William Zepeda, man. He whooped on Lamont Roach. Shout out to William Zepeda, the new WBC lightweight champion of the world. I see a lot of people giving Shakur Stevenson a lot of credit for defeating William Zepeda. And to be honest, you should. Because William Zepeda, man, I'm trying to tell you, he's a tough out. If anybody win or lose, he's going to give you a tough fight. Unless you spark him immediately, he's a tough fight for anybody. My boy Ree in the building said, how you think Dula versus Zepeda looks? Now that's a shootout because Abdullah don't mind. First of all, that shit gonna be detrimental to both of them niggas' health, to be honest with you. They both gonna be taking some shit. Abdullah, bigger puncher, faster, more athletic. But Zepeda might be in trouble in that one, to be real, because Abdullah don't mind matching output when he comes in phenomenal shape. So Abdullah let them bitches go. He punches with bad intentions, and his condition is superb. You know what I'm saying? He's well conditioned. He punch hard. He's fast. He's athletic. He'll be there for William Zepeda shots, but I don't see Abdullah shelling up. I don't see Abdullah shelling up and letting Zepeda get his shit off. I don't see it happening. And Abdullah's a lot rangier than Zepeda too. So the only problem with Abdullah, man, is that he lacks focus at times, bro. Like he'll start off doing some shit right, but he loves to fight. He loves to be and he loves to be in war so much that shit just takes over like his overall boxing IQ. And against the wrong style, that shit could really hurt Abdullah, man. But I think Abdullah will beat Zepeda. The range, the speed, the power, the aggression, the relentlessness, the conditioning. Zepeda better stay away from Abdullah. That's what I think. I think he'll whoop on Zepeda. The boxer's mindset, Abdullah's youth will give him the edge. I think it's more the conditioning for me, man. Abdullah comes in superb shape. Like when you watch that Sam Noakes fight, bro, that shit was grueling, bro. And Abdullah took some shit against Sam Noakes. Body shots, some good hooks. And this motherfucker in the 12th round was firing. This motherfucker was firing like it was the first round. I'm like, yeah, that nigga Abdullah, I don't know what his conditioning drills be, and I don't know what he be doing in that gym, but that motherfucker is in phenomenal shape. So when you got all the qualities Abdullah got and you in tip-top shape, you could do some damage to a Zepeda type fighter, that's for sure. Noakes is good. That was a phenomenal. Abdullah Noakes was a war. Yes, it was. One-sided war, but it was a war. Sam Noakes will have some moments here and there, but nothing to really throw Abdullah off his square. He said, I think Lamont and Shakur is a more competitive fight than people think. I don't think it's 12 over Shakur like some dudes say. I disagree, man. I don't really think that fight's competitive at all, if we being honest. I don't think. See, this the thing, bro. Like, Lamont got skills and all of that, but he's not on the level of Shakur Stevenson, bro. I think, because you think about it, like, Lamont don't really got the speed to really make Shakur pay defensively. He ain't got the output all like that. I mean, he got solid counter punching, but Shakur is such a fucking defensive wizard, man. Like, I just can't see Lamont being effective offensively. I don't see what he does. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see it, bro. I think Shakur is a lot more intelligent. He's not going to, and I think that Lamont Roach's counter punching is going to be neutralized basically because Shakur ain't going to really take any risk for him to go ahead. He's not going to take much risk for Lamont Roach to, work with and shoot some shit in between and get some good shots. And then he ain't got no crazy power that's going to discourage Shakur neither. I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Wacko said that's why Corey want to fight him. Man, y'all said it, not me. But Zepeda and Abdullah is a fucking that's a really, really grueling fight, man. Abdullah too young to be in these grueling fights like this, man. It's just like Abdullah has the tools to be an intelligent outboxer, like an intelligent outboxer slash puncher, but his mind just be on kill mode. And it's hard for him to step up out of that because that's just who he is. Just like if you a counter puncher, like you may be a counter puncher at heart. You may have other abilities to be like a come forward pressure fighter, but if you're a counter puncher at heart, that's what you're gonna gravitate towards every time. Like Abdullah has the range, he has a good jab. You know what I mean? He got accuracy. He got whenever he feels like using his legs, he got good legs. You know what I mean? Like he got all of the key components to make him a good boxer puncher. But when you a fucking killer, when your mind is of a killer, then that's just what you're gonna gravitate towards to every time. It reminds me back to when Andre Berto fought Floyd Mayweather, right? They were saying, Floyd outclassed Andre Berto, and somebody had told Virgil Hunter, or Virgil Hunter had said it maybe. It was somebody that was on Andre Berto's team. You know what I mean? If he was more aggressive, he would have, if he would have just been, more aggressive, he would have beat Floyd. And then I think Virgil Hunter responded, but that's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could tell a motherfucker all day, yo, if you want to beat this person, you got to do X, Y, and Z. But if that's not part of their makeup as a fighter, then that advice is worthless. You got to have that shit in you in order to be able to execute it. If that's not in your DNA, if that's not who you are, it's not going to work. I think Abdullah packs Zepeda too. I ain't gonna lie. I agree with Anonymous. Stylistically, that's all wrong. All wrong for Zepeda. Because you know what Zepeda going to do. He going to bring the fight to Abdullah. Abdullah don't got to look for you. Bet. He'll pack Zepeda. They're not going to give him that. They're not going to do that, though. You know Oscar De La Hoya going, man, Oscar De La Hoya is so excited right now. Let's go ahead and pull that video up. Let's pull that video up. He is elated. He looked like he had a bar, too. He looked like he had a restaurant / bar or whatever. That nigga Oscar about to get litty. Well, let's see.
Congratulations, William Zepeda. I couldn't be happier for you. And the new WBC World Champion. Let's go. Congratulations.
That nigga about to hold William Zepeda hostage for as long as he can, boy. Yo, that boy Knock Stuff. Yo, shout out to Knock Stuff. He asked us some good questions in the building. He said, how you think Ben versus Ryan gonna go? This is my thing, right? If we talking about middleweight counter Ben, 154 counter Ben, I think this is a much more competitive fight. Counter Ben, Ryan Garcia, I don't view neither one of them as being like these elite, intelligent type of fighters. I think they have certain qualities that make them good, and that's how they're able to survive at a high level. For example, Conor Ben, to be fair, has never fought at a high level, so this is like a new experience for him, and this is also why I'm picking against him. But Conor Ben, what he has going is the motherfucker got an engine, great conditioning, output. He has volume favoring him in this fight. And he got some decent speed. You know what I'm saying? And before getting caught on the PEDs, he was explosive and had some good power. That power has seemed to have diminished a little bit. Well, a lot, to be honest with you. But he still got the volume, he still got the speed, he still got the combinations, right? He got the conditioning. Ryan Garcia doesn't have the best conditioning, in my opinion. Doesn't have the best IQ whatsoever. His footwork is absolutely horrible. His defense is horrible. But he has pretty good hand speed, accuracy, and solid power, especially on that lead hand. So neither one of these guys are like pound for pound level fighters whatsoever, but they have some qualities that make them good. But I can't ignore this right here, man. Like, Conor Ben has not been at welterweight for about 4 years now. Fought a couple times at 54 after he got caught on the juice. Then he fought a couple times at 160. Put a lot of muscle on for those Chris Eubank Jr. fights. Now he's cutting into the muscle to get back down to 147. And when he weighed in 149 and a half against Regis Prograis, he looked like a dead man. Looked absolutely drained. Looked like he left a whole lot of fight in the gym. And his performance showed it. He was a drained fighter. Absolutely drained fighter. So because of that, man, just imagine cutting 2 more pounds off of an already dehydrated fighter. They said that his body fat percentage was so low. I forgot what they said Conor Ben's body fat percentage was, but the dude who had told him that was actually concerned for his health. And Conor Ben tried to play it off like, he was healthy and that, I could have made 147. I could have made 147. Yeah, but at what cost? Yeah, but at what cost? I think in this lead up, in the lead up to this fight, man, Conor Ben is going to show early signs of being a drained fighter. And because he's going to be a drained fighter, I think he's going to have a tough time rehydrating after making the weight. I think he's going to make the weight, y'all. I don't think he's going to fuck this up. You know what I mean? With the resources that he has, the nutritionist and all of that shit, I think he's going to find a way to get down to the weight. But one thing that a nutritionist can't do is stop your body from outgrowing a weight class and, really breaking down as a result of getting down to a certain weight class. That's something that a nutritionist cannot do. So I think that Ryan Garcia is going to knock Conor Ben out. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was within the first 4 rounds of the fight. Unless, Conor Ben just has like this newfound speed, power, or whatever the case is, in his return to 147 against Ryan Garcia, or Ryan Garcia just lays an egg like he usually does. Ryan Garcia, like a normal Ryan Garcia, I think he'll I think his punching power will have an effect on Conor Ben's is due to how drained he is. And you know, when a fighter is drained, their punch resistance usually goes down as well. Knox said he already looks like he's likely going to look like a skeleton. He's looking. I seen him training. He look. I'm not gonna say he look drained right now, but he looks small right now. Look, see Dabrowski. See, I know I don't be tripping. I seen that nigga in the gym training. He already looked like his face sunken in a little bit, and I'm like, damn, nigga. When is Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia fighting? When is Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia fighting? Bro, I swear, Syria is the worst. September 12th, you already looking like that? And you got a whole, 5 weeks? Come on, man. That's not good, bro. It's not good, I'm telling you. Ben might go out like Fonseca. He fuck around, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Ryan Garcia not even taking this nigga serious, man. And that could fuck him over, to be honest with you. This nigga sparring transgenders and content creators. This nigga in the club partying, getting spanked by Asian women. I don't know. This nigga ain't taking him serious at all. You said Mazuma got unibrow. Yeah, man. Yeah, I do. I got that J. Cole shit going on. I'm gonna cut that shit this week, though. What happened was when I got a haircut last time, the nigga never cut this shit off. So I was like, fuck it. But yeah, this shit running my family, bro. I got a bunch of uncles on my mom's side. They got, well, it's not even a bunch of uncles, it's one. Actually, I resemble my uncle a lot. Me and him actually look a lot alike. But yeah, he had a whole unibrow and shit, and I got it too. My son got a unibrow too. If you really look at my son, if you look at him, his hair light now, so you can't tell. But my son got a unibrow too. That shit just running the family. But yeah, but you know, to answer the question, sorry about that. I think Ryan knocks Conor Benn out. As much as I don't want to see that, you feel what I'm saying? I don't like neither one of them, but I dislike Ryan slightly more because he's a fucking racist. I don't respect him. Conor Benn, he's just a drug cheat. I don't really respect him neither, but yeah, I mean, he's still a black man at the end of the day. So if I had to pick one, I would like for Conor Benn to win, but you know, I just don't see it happening like realistically. I see my boy Anonymous ask me a question. My boy Anonymous said, "Did you hear Mordecai say he's moving up? Who do you think fights for the IBF next?" Well, we gonna have to take a look at the rankings, brother. So let's take a look there. That'd be funny as shit if Andy Cruz be like, you know what? I ain't going down to 130. Let's go ahead and try again for this IBF lightweight title. I would not be surprised. But let me see. Let's take a look at this IBF rankings. Oof. That's crazy that Stephen Fulton is still ranked number 7 in the IBF at lightweight. If y'all don't take him the fuck off them rankings, man. But Andy Cruz is still ranked number 3. There's a bunch of people. You got Alan Abel Chavez. I heard about him. Mark Magsayo. Number 1, there's nobody rated at number 1 yet. There's somebody by the name of Artur Subkonkalov. And then you got somebody by the name of Dmitry Asanov. Maybe it'll be the battle of these two niggas, man. You know, a Russian by the name of Artur, who's 11-0. And then you have, is this dude Russian too? What is he? Yeah, I don't know. Let me take a look. An 11-0 and a 12-0, they probably have no fight for the vacant title. That's what it looked like. Yeah, Bella. What? Where he from? Belarusia. What the fuck is it? Bro, I never heard of this shit ever. What the fuck is? How you pronounce that? Bella. Am I saying it right? Y'all know that country, y'all? They said Silk said, Mark, who you got? Ryan off the Ostarine or Connor off the egg? I ain't gonna lie, man. Connor off the egg looked vicious, bro. I ain't gonna lie. God, yo, the way he did Chris Algieri and all them niggas, bro, that Connor off the eggs was dangerous, bro. Ryan off the Ostarine, like he had some power and shit like that. He was crazy, but he was fatigued and all that. I think Connor off the egg more dangerous. He more explosive. He more of somebody to worry about. Connor Ben was sleeping shit, bro. He was Connor Ben off the egg was tweaking. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't nothing wrong with you asking question, Knox. I appreciate you supporting the channel, brother. But I've never heard of this. I'm still stuck on this country name. Why have I never heard of this? I'm somebody who think that's a country in Europe, not too far from Lithuania. How you pronounce that? How you pronounce it? Belarus. Okay. Never heard of this country. That's crazy. Right off of Ukraine. So between Russia, Ukraine, Poland, and Lithuania and Latvia. Okay. Good to know. Belarus. Connor on that tainted yoke. That's crazy. So most likely they'll have Dimitri fight Artur. I mean, that's what they should do. You know, Andy Cruz said he's going down to 130, so his ranking should be removed at lightweight, to be honest, unless he changes his mind. And Andy Cruz fights Artur for the vacant IBF title. I don't know, but I like the fact that Raymond is listening to his body and he's moving up to 140. Because to be honest, if Andy continues to be at 135, eventually he's going to start to break down. That dude looks pretty big, man. That dude looks pretty big for a lightweight. His back, when the back get all big and shit like that, man, it's time. So I like the fact that he did that. Who you think Mordecai fights for the IBF at 40? I mean, the IBF is vacant, so, but the problem is, bro, Adolfo Delgado lined up for that IBF, and I think they got the same coach. So that's tough. There's some smoke in that. There's some smoke at 140 for Raymond, though, man. You still got some hard hitters in that division. 140 got some good fucking fighters. That's a good question. I mean, if he take the IBF route at 140, you know what I mean? It's going to be hard because Landolfo Delgado, number one. So it's like, there's going to have to be a conversation. Yeah. Landolfo Delgado trained with Robert Garcia. That's why him and Duarte, Duarte was lined up for the IBF, but then when Hitchens pulled out, he was pretty much fucked over because Landolfo Delgado was next up for the belt. And they both got the same trainer. Yep. Hold on, bro. I got a lot of questions. I thought I was just gonna be on here for a half hour. Do I believe AJ has a chance to beat Fury? Yes, I do. I think that they both are diminished versions of themselves, to be honest with you. And Fury looked like absolute horseshit in his latest fight. You know, AJ didn't look like horseshit, but at the same time, his punch resistance doesn't seem to be what it was in his younger years. That just comes with time, unfortunately, and wear and tear. So I think the best, whatever they have left, they need to fight each other now. And I'll be rooting for AJ to defeat Tyson Fury, man. I think AJ got a little bit more left in the tank than Tyson Fury. So I think he could pull it off. And do I believe Inoue will fight Bam and beat him? That's a tough fight, man. I don't know, man. I don't even know if that fight happens to be real, but Inoue a problem for anybody, man. Bam, one of my favorite fighters in the game right now. His angles, his jab, his speed, his sneaky power. He could give Inoue some trouble, but I think Inoue's biggest enemy right now would be bigger guys. I don't think Bam is a bigger guy, so I don't know. You got a lot of questions right now. I'm trying to get to them. What happens if Brian Norman Jr. comes back and fights Ryan hypothetically? I mean, he got what it take to beat Ryan. I don't look at Ryan as like this elite guy that's just so difficult to beat. I think he's very beatable. It's just you got to have a certain game plan. You know what I mean? And Brian Norman, I don't know, he be acting funny with certain shots and shit. Like he act funny with hooks too. He got a little chin problem, so that's probably a 50-50. I don't know. I don't really trust Brian Norman. Not yet. This nigga Brooklyn said, what? Hold on. Haney strategically picked all of his fights. I'm fake glad Ryan did that and snack his PEDs too. So, bro, that sounds super ignorant, Brooklyn. I ain't gonna lie. So you're glad, hold on. So you're glad that Ryan Garcia tested positive against Haney and did damage to Devin Haney while being on the juice, and then try to justify by saying snack is PEDs too. Snack is not PEDs because you could buy them online right now, and there's plenty of people who take snack supplements, do drug tests, and come out absolutely clean. So I don't think that's a fair assessment, bro. My brother, I think that's a little bit of a reach, and I don't think no true boxing fan should ever condone a fighter getting taking punishment against somebody who's actively on performance enhancement drugs. I think that's very disrespectful. And whether you dislike a person or not, I don't think any fan should be an advocate for somebody getting their ass whooped by a drug cheat. I don't think that's right, bro. I think you need to reevaluate your stance because that's not cool, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Regardless of who it is, it could be Haney, it could be anybody. I wouldn't be glad that I wouldn't be happy to see Ryan get beat up by a drug cheat. If he was a clean fighter and the opposite, if the tables was turned and Haney did it to him, I wouldn't be happy that Ryan went through that either. Even with him being a racist and all of that, I wouldn't be happy to see that. That's wrong, bro. Tito Mercado versus Raymond, I like that. I like that. I like that fight. I'm gonna ask Tito Mercado. I got a whole lineup of questions for Tito Mercado, but there's this rumor going around. Yeah, if you don't fuck with Bill Haney, that's cool. But you know what I mean? Like we gotta think logically, man. You feel me? Because I know a lot of people that don't like Bill. That's fine. But to say that I'm glad he got whooped by a drug cheat, like that's crazy, bro. Like drug cheat should be arrested. That should be a felony, bro. And we gotta watch what we say out here, bro. That's real ugly, man. Tank versus Zepeda, who you got? I think Tank will knock Zepeda out. But if he don't, he in trouble. I think Tank wins by knockout, but if he don't get the knockout, Zepeda will punch on Tank. That's for sure. If Zepeda could take Tank punch, Tank in trouble. But I don't think he takes Tank's punch, to be honest. What belt does Raymond shoot for? I mean, that's ultimately up to his team. You got Gary Antoine Russell, you got Dalton Smith, you got Shakur Stevenson. He keep acting like he want to fight Shakur Stevenson. Nigga, if you want to go to WBO route, go ahead. I think Mordecai gonna have to wait in line regardless. That's what I take from this whole situation. Because the number one position at the IBF is taken by somebody who's currently in your stable. So unless you go to a different trainer or Lindolfo goes to a different trainer and y'all rumble for the belt, all right, cool. But Gary Antoine Russell, they talking about he about to fight Oscar Duarte, who ranked number 3 in his sanctioning body. You got Dalton Smith about to fight Albert Puello, who's number 1 in his sanctioning body. And Shakur Stevenson not worrying about fighting Mordecai if the nigga ain't got a belt. What's crazy is Emiliano Vargas is number one for Shakur Stevenson's title. That's wild to me. That's a waste of time. Bro, that's a waste of time because we all know Emiliano ain't fighting Shakur anytime soon. Top rank ain't letting that happen. Fernando Vargas, his father ain't making it happen. Why put him in that position when y'all know he not ready to take that fight? They still building that kid, man. Fuck out of here. Man, take that nigga off number one. What is y'all doing, bro? Come on, man. That nigga Tito Mercado running his mouth. Put that nigga at number one. Lindolfo, he already number one. Lindolfo number two in the WBO. Oscar Duarte number three. Oscar Duarte, don't even worry about Oscar Duarte. He about to take the opportunity with the WBA. Fucking Oscar Lindolfo, he already number one. He gonna fight next for the IBF title. Put Tito Mercado up at number one. Emiliano Vargas being number one right now is pointless because the WBO be like, if the WBO orders it, Emiliano not taking that shit. He not if they ordered Emiliano and Shakur to fight right now, like next, Emiliano's pulling out. He's not taking that right now. He's not ready. There's nothing wrong with that. He he a young boy. He's still building. I had the pleasure of seeing him. Is he nice? Yeah, nigga fight. He's skilled, but he's not ready for no Shakur Stevenson. To be honest, I don't know if he'll ever be ready for a Shakur Stevenson. But right now, especially, hell no, that shit not even competitive, bro. Nowhere near Shakur level. He might not ever get there, but guess what? He need a little bit more of growth and development and a little bit more good matchmaking before we even had that discussion. They're trying to rush man prospect's career. Facts. He's not ready for that. He's not ready for that. This nigga said Core will give Emiliano a wedgie. That's crazy. Yo, I can't wait to do that to my son, bro. My son's still wearing diapers, bro. For all my fathers out there, man, if y'all got any potty training advice, let me know. I had my son pee in the toilet like one time. This nigga do not fuck with the toilet, y'all. His moms and them let me know that they got him to poop and shit, but bro, I have not been able to do that. I said, bro, I only ever got him to pee in that joint. That's it. But any of my fathers out here that got any type of potty training advice, let me know. My pop was like, just have him wear drawers, man. Just let him pee. No, hell no. Anyways, let's get back to the subject. Who you got? Mordecai versus Delgado if it was to happen. I think Mordecai is sharper than Delgado, man. Delgado, he is who he is. You feel me? I don't really see nothing special about it. I think Mordecai is better than Delgado. It's just my opinion. I would pick Mordecai. What y'all think, y'all? Would y'all pick Mordecai to beat Delgado? I think he's sharper, man. Trying to tell you, them Mexican American bulls. I don't know. Could Devin beat Keyshawn and Shakur, and how? Devin has the abilities to beat both of those guys. If he was to beat Keyshawn, I already know. But I do think he'll have to take opposite approaches with both of those guys. With Keyshawn is most effective when he's on the front foot, putting his combinations together and stuff like that. So I think Devin has to fight like a backwards, a back foot type of fight for Keyshawn. Keep that jab on him. You know what I mean? When he overcommit, run him into them right hands. Keyshawn is a sucker for a straight right hand, in my opinion. So I think that Devin's straight shots and his footwork, his lateral movement could give Keyshawn a lot of issues. He could frustrate him and all of that shit. With Shakur, I think he got to be a little aggressive with Shakur, man. You got to be a little aggressive with Shakur and, keep that jab. Keep Shakur on the defense off of that jab. You know what I mean? But very, very difficult. Keyshawn, I heard this nigga unfollowed his manager, Jay Prince. He put up a song by NBA Youngboy that was dissing Jay Prince. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what's going on. Seemed like Jay Prince and Keyshawn at odds right now. I hope he ain't in Houston talking like that. That's all I know. I hope Keyshawn in Virginia talking like that. I hope he not in Houston down Fifth Ward talking about Jay Prince like that. That's a suicide mission. Yeah, I mean that was the room. That's what I saw on Twitter. I ain't go to check myself, but I heard Keyshawn unfollow Jay Prince on Instagram. So something going on. So when you putting that song on your profile that's actively dissing the manager that you're under, mind you, you ain't been with that nigga for a year yet, and you dissing him on Instagram, and then you unfollowing him. There's obviously some type of problems between y'all, and you probably blaming him for why you look like a duck right now. Let me see. Let me check. I ain't gonna lie, Keyshawn following some little ugly Jones. I mean, you like them ugly Jones, Keyshawn? Let me find out. I just peeped this little John you following, and she hit. Oh, let me stop playing, man. Oh no, I say he followed Jay Prince. So I don't, that's cap. See, that's why you can't be believing these Twitter niggas. But let me find out you following these little wait. Hold on. Is this Keyshawn baby mom? Who is this? No, I don't think so. No. Never mind. She a little hitch or no? Let me find out. He said nigga just signed to Jay Prince 5 months ago. He signed with him like November, December of last year. This nigga said, Josue said, Mark, how you think Zepeda versus Herrera will go? We talking about Javier Herrera, and Zepeda beat the shit out of Javier Herrera. That nigga trash. I think the WBC regret giving that nigga an interim belt. I ain't gonna lie. They don't even want him to fight for the belt. Them niggas like, man, this shit a waste of time. Them niggas said, man, keep this nigga with this interim belt, man. You know what I mean? Because I heard Javier got some money behind him. I heard he got some money behind him. You feel me? Like they say that nigga Javier Herrera out there living in Dubai. He's sponsored by them get money niggas out there. So, I mean, they probably give him an interim title so they could take a couple dollars off him and shit like that. They probably paid for that interim belt, to be honest with you. They probably paid for that. But yeah, that nigga, he ain't no smoke for real. What fights do I want to see the most? That's a great question. I think I want to see. I still want to see Tyson Fury and AJ fight. I still want to see that. I want to see Jai Opetaia versus David Benavidez. I want to see Dimitri Bivol versus David Benavidez, or David Benavidez versus Artur Beterbiev. You can mix them up however you want to. I wouldn't mind a Beterbiev Bivol trilogy, but it's not at the top of my list, so we can go ahead and exclude that one. Um, let me see. I want to see some unifications at 168, man. I want to see um Jaime Munguia will be a good fight against a Hamza Shiraz. Lazy Iglesias, you could throw him in there as well. I want to see Yo-Yo get an opportunity at middleweight. If we could go ahead and see him, if Adames is able to give him an opportunity, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. I want to see Jesus Ramos get an opportunity too. That'd be dope. 154, you already know. Boots, Pandora, Boots, Josh Kelly. You know what I mean? You could throw Virgil in the mix with a Jermell Charlo. I think that'll be a good fight. 47, Ryan, Devin rematch. Even though Ryan just came out and said he'll never give Haney a rematch. This nigga Ryan said he'll never give Haney a rematch unless this nigga admits to being responsible for why he tested positive. Can you imagine, bro? Like this dude Ryan, bro. He's like, I never met somebody who had accountability issues like Ryan Garcia. Can you imagine being like lacking accountability so much that you're blaming another man, your opponent? You blame your opponent for why you got drugs in your system. Oh well, Devin Haney's brother, said that I had, bro. Just think about this, Ryan. Just think about it this way, right? How was his brother able to predict that he was on performance enhancement drugs? I mean, Ryan, do you think that is far-fetched that they received word before the public did? And they waited for VADA to come out and announce it before they said it publicly? You ever thought about that? What if they got the word? What if they received the word from VADA before everybody else did? So they already had it in their mind, and the young bull being a young bull, he just put it out to the public before everybody else knew about it. You ever thought about that? Now you blame this nigga for why you had drugs in your system, but before that you was blaming ashwagandha, tainted supplements, your strength and conditioning coach Scooter. Oh, you was blaming everybody, bro. You was blaming everybody except yourself. Now you out here pushing this narrative. Oh, Devin Haney and Bill, they set me up. They lied about my drug test, huh? Okay, bro. Shit, I ain't even talk about all the fights I want to see, but it's a whole bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of them knocks. I ain't gonna lie. Nigga said Herrera is Doogie. That's hilarious. Labeling somebody as Doogie will always be funny to me, man. I'm a child. Trick said the WBC don't regret an extra sanctioning fee. If they could do more, they would. That's a fact. If they could put 40 belts in every division, they would. Yeah, believe that shit. Zepeda versus Mason in my list for fights to make. Bro, that's an exciting ass fight, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, as a coach and like just somebody who just been in the game for years, bro, that fight. That's one of them fights that make me a little nervous. That make me real nervous, bro, for their safety. That's one of them Jones where it's like I want to see it, but it's like, bro, like, I'm kind of concerned for these niggas' health going into this fight. That's gonna be a shootout. Them niggas gonna go crazy. What's next for Zepeda? I mean, it's up to Golden Boy, to be honest with you, man. Like, like I said, I think they gonna try to keep him on a winning streak. So don't be surprised if he fights somebody, in his rankings. I wouldn't be surprised if De La Hoya is okay with William Zepeda fighting Javier Herrera. You know what I'm saying? He go ahead, beat up on Javier Herrera. They could be like, oh, he's an interim champion. We're going to give him an opportunity, blah, blah, blah. They're going to beat him up or whatever the case is. I forgot who else is ranked. Let me see. Who ranked in the WBC at lightweight? I don't know. They got a few different options to choose, to be honest with you. Sam Noakes versus William Zepeda would be a good-ass fight. He ranked number 5. That's a good one, right? Shit. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. Sam Noakes versus William Zepeda, good fight. How do you think Skull versus Zepeda looks? That's a good one too, man. Floyd Schofield is explosive. He got good power, good speed. You know what I mean? Young. You know, it's a situation where it's like if Schofield can't knock Zepeda out, I don't see him beating him. Even with him mastering the five styles. I think he only got a knockout chance against Zepeda. I don't think he's gonna be able to keep up with him, to be honest with you. If he don't knock Zepeda out, he cooked. But don't expect the Schofields to look in William Zepeda direction. Don't. Munguia is fighting Bektamir on the Canelo card, bro. If they make that happen, that's a hell of a fight. I think Munguia gonna chop Bektamir up, though. I ain't gonna lie. Munguia too active. But Bektamir got the power to hurt Munguia. And I seen Resendiz hurting Munguia to the body. So Bektamir got a chance for sure. How do I see Dula versus Shakur? I think Shakur outboxes him, man. I don't think he, like Abdullah gonna be looking to be aggressive and fast and let his hands go. You know what I mean? Like, you see how Albert Bell was able to keep that range and keep him at the end of that right hand and all of that stuff. And then ultimately, he broke down. He wasn't able to do it consistently. But Shakur, in my opinion, has a better understanding of range than Albert Bell does. I think he's better at keeping the range better than Albert Bell does. I think he's a more accurate counterpuncher than Albert Bell is. So I could just see it being a real difficult fight for Abdullah to get past. You know what I'm saying? I can see him just, continuing to push the issue, be aggressive, let his hands go. But Shakur Stevenson's experience at a high level, his defensive abilities, his jab, his overall ring intelligence, man, I think it'll shine in that fight. I think he'll outclass Abdullah Mason right now. That's what I think. Kid Austin stops Zepeda. Damn, okay. Yeah. Listen, I was the one who picked Floyd Schofield, and everybody was going against him against Tevin Farmer. I know that Schofield got some good things going for himself, but Zepeda not an easy fight. Like, if he don't knock Zepeda out, he cooked. That's all I know. I think he only got a puncher's chance against Zepeda. Who beat Shakur? Brother looks unbeatable. There's no such thing as an unbeatable fighter. I always say that. I don't give a fuck how good a fighter is. Who beat Shakur? I mean, Devin Haney could possibly do something with him. Shakur low-key letting you know what's his kryptonite. It's the shit that he most concerned about. It's natural, bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? The reason why he's so hell-bent on the weight, bro, Shakur knows himself, man. He knows what's good for him. He knows what's not good for him. He knows what he does well against. He knows what he doesn't do so well against. And I think Shakur got a problem with bigger guys, bro. Something about guys being bigger than him is troublesome to him. Like, you always peep. Shakur be like, damn, dog, you smaller than I thought. Damn, you smaller than I thought. He always sizing people up because size is a big thing to him. You think anybody gives Hitchin a chance for the belt at 147? I don't know, bro. Hitchin's calling out Haney, but he feels like he's better than Haney and all of that shit. So maybe Haney will give him an opportunity. I just don't like the fact that like Haney got to be the one to fight everybody. Like, what's up with these other champions at 47, bro? You know what I mean? It's like Leon Paro got a title, so I really don't want to see Hitchens fight Paro again. You know, Paro tailor made for a nigga like Hitchens. So to win another world title off, to become a 2 division champion off the same nigga, that's not really a good look, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I guess Hitchens and the Rolly Tio winner, maybe. I mean Connor Ben and Ryan Garcia taking part in the Zuffa event. You know, if Zuffa really got Hitchens' best interest, line him up with the winner of Garcia versus Connor Ben. What's up with that? I just don't like how this guy want to fight, throw him to Haney. Bro, there's 3 other champions in the division. Oh, Sway say this gonna be the last one, y'all. This gonna be the last one. Nah, Sean Terrence said Hitchens' hand speed and jab is underrated. We knew that about him though. I always said Hitchens got one of the best jabs in boxing. But I feel like his straight shots is all he got. And I feel like against the wrong I feel like again I feel like with the right style in front of him, he could expose a lot of holes and Hitchens' game. I don't think Hitchens really Hitchens is. I think he got a heart problem. I ain't gonna lie. I think that nigga got a little heart murmur. I ain't gonna lie. Hitchens versus Key, who you got in that? I think Key is a. I think overall he a better fighter than Hitchens. That's just me. Like Hitchens got good. He got respectable power. You could tell. Great jab, good one too. He keep the range real well off of the straight shots. I think Keyshawn better power, better punch placement. Um, Keyshawn got some pretty solid defense too. Like he be getting hit with right hands and shit like that. But I think that's when he be having like those little mental lapses, like when he be getting a little overly aggressive, he run into shots. Sometimes Keyshawn got this tendency sometimes where he walks into the fire without giving his opponent something to look at, like a jab or a combination or whatever the case is. I've seen Keyshawn walk in to like this, you like walk straight into the fire with no punches sometimes, and I was never really understood that shit. But yeah, I think Keyshawn's better than Hitchens, but Hitchens could give him some trouble if he could keep Keyshawn at the end of his jab, he can outbox him. But if Keyshawn finds a way to close that gap and start ripping that body and all that, I don't know. I don't know if Hitchens could stand up to that, bro. Don't fucking the precision on them body shots from Keyshawn is deadly. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna read this one question. I was gonna read this one question, but I lost it. Oh yeah, Josue said, you seen that Rolly Tio undercard. It looked like shit, to be honest. I don't know. Let me check. So it looked like Yo-Yo versus Francisco Daniel Varon, Victor Santillan versus Antonio Russell, and Carlos Utraya versus Israel Mercado. I was wondering what was going on with Israel Mercado. But I see some recognizable names. Antonio Russell is one of the Gary Russell brothers. Um, wait, what? Oh, okay. Super bantamweight. I was about to say. Um, it's definitely not the best undercard. Definitely not the best undercard, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, like they weird, bro. Rolly and Teal weirdos. I'm sorry. But that's how we're going to wrap up the live, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always. Definitely was on here a lot longer than I was supposed to be. So if you could go ahead, show your appreciation, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, share the video. That'll be very much appreciated. I'll be back at y'all with another live tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world, man. Hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.